opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network.
Yeah, I've been closer to Jesus before, so can you help me out? Oh, can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Am I on my own? Am I on my own? Or can you help me out? Can you help me out? I've been scared to look in my soul. I've been afraid I would follow the road. Yeah, afraid of the things I've been told.
Hello, everybody. Welcome inside a Thursday episode of Running Point on YSNLive.com, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They go the extra mile for you so you don't have to. We try to do the same here on this show every single day, and we're going to put their logo in the top right-hand corner so you know where to go. If you are in the market for a newer used vehicle, make sure to check out Greenwood Chevrolet right there in Austintown. Once again, they go the extra mile for you. You don't have to. We thank them every day for their sponsorship of this show and everything that we do. And YSN Greenwood Chevrolet is a big part of everything that we're able to do at YSN. So we thank them for their constant support. We are having a good show today, but it's a little bit different than normal because we don't have Class B baseball to talk about from last night. The rain hit just like we thought it would. We made the right choice in moving the YSN softball all-star game to tonight because, of course, we wouldn't have gotten in last night. That's for sure. I texted DJ at like 6:15, and right when it started to pour, I said we would have been maybe a couple of pitches in at this point when we had to clear the field. So good call by Storm Tracker 21 on the forecast. We know that's hard to do. Good call for the YSU management to get in touch with us and talk about it. And then obviously we were all, I said it. I was doing so good this week too. We were able to make the right decision, and it looks beautiful today. Storm Tracker 21 puts a 77-degree first pitch temperature. That is just peak temperature for comfortability. It's warm. It's nice. You're going to have the sun, but it's not 85 plus where you feel like you're going to be baking in the sun at the All-Star game. So going to have a fun time. Reminder that it is tonight at YSU Softball Complex at 6 o'clock. If you've never been to YSU Softball before, the parking is right across the street from the softball field. You'll be able to have a big parking lot there. There is handicap parking. We've had a couple of people ask that. So there is handicap parking in that lot as well. And it says to cross, you cross a 2-lane street. It's not like you're crossing a highway or anything like that. Cross a 2-lane street to get to the softball field. There is seating. There's a bleacher section in the outfield. We had this question come up a couple of times too. So out in the outfield, there's a bleacher system, a pretty big bleacher seating in the outfield. And then there's also bleachers on both sides of the press box. So the press box right behind home plate, and you got bleachers on both sides. If you want to bring a chair, you're one of those softball fans or parents that likes to sit on the fence or sit in the outfield, you're welcome to. People do that for YSU softball all the time. There's plenty of room around the field for chairs. You can sit on top of the hill. So yeah, if you want to bring your chairs, you can, but there is seating that you don't have to bring your chairs. You will find a place to sit if you don't have a chair of your own. Admission for the game is going to be $5 at the gate. That goes and benefits NYAP, the National Youth Advocacy Program. We did that with our baseball game, and we will continue that trend of sending our gate proceeds to NYAP for that. We will also have merch on sale. We'll have the Stream City shirts that we had at the baseball game. We'll have a very limited number of these All-Star shirts. We sold a heck of a lot in the baseball all-star game. So we do have to make sure that the softball players, as many as them, get a shirt as possible. We have limited numbers of shirts. So if we have extras, we'll be selling them. If not, limited edition, right? Get them or you don't, right? That's how it goes. So am I missing anything? Player check-in is going to be at 5:00 if you're out there listening, if you're a player or a parent of a player. Player check-in is at 5. We'll be there before, so if you feel like you have to be there more than an hour to get ready and get warm or whatever, it's not like the gates are going to be locked before 5. You can come, tell us you're there, get your waiver taken care of, and you'll be good to go. But we expect the wave of players to start coming in at 5:00. If past softball games are any experience, the girls are really really on time. So we usually get everyone checked in before like 5:30. So that's why we felt like 5:00. We didn't have to push the check-in time back when we moved the start time from 7 to 6. So I don't think I missed anything on the information that we go. So what we're going to do today, we're going to preview the game. I'm going to pull up the YSN roster on our website. This roster was released Monday night after our draft. And we are very excited for all these players to play in the All-Star game. This can be found once again at ysnlive.com. Here's a spiel about everything that's going on, and let's go right to the rosters and see who expect to be played tonight. Before we do that, I want to thank our coaches that will be coaching this game on both sides of the dugout. We have Steve Ward from Austintown, Fitch, back-to-back state champion. He was able to come on board and help us out. He coached last year's game too, so he's a veteran. He knows how to do it. He knows how to make sure everyone gets in there, make sure everyone has a good time. And it was a pretty easy pick to make sure we had someone in the dugout that kind of knew how to do it, right, and knew what to expect out of it. So Steve Ward will be a coach on one side, and then our coach of the year at YSN, Coach Dave Kelm from Lakeview, who won the NE8 for the first time in program history, split it with South Range. He'll be on the other side. We're excited for both these coaches. They volunteer their time to make sure these kids have the best experience possible, so we want to thank them. Coach Kelm will be the visiting team based on a coin flip on the draft. He'll be on Team Stars, and here's what his roster looks like. Ashtabula St. John sending a representative. Riley Frazier will be the St. John representative. Badger, a really good pitcher out of Badger. They got to the district semifinals this year. Eventually fell to Matthews, who went all the way to state, so nothing to hang your head about losing to that team. But Isabella Bailey, really good arm for Badger and Kinsman. I got to see her live for the first time in that game against Matthews. And, man, she definitely can bring it. She's a good arm for Coach Kelm. Then I'm sure we'll get at least 2 innings. If my math on the pitchers is right, I think if everyone's ready to go and all the arms are good, I think, coaches should be able to go 2 innings for a pitcher on average. We should be plenty of arms to do that on both sides. And really what was amazing is we do the draft. If you didn't see it, we do the draft kind of randomly. It's just a wheel that spins kind of like Wheel of Fortune, and whatever the name lands on is who the team gets, and we alternate. It was a really lucky draft this year because from the spin of the wheel, both coaches got all their players. So both Lakeview players are on, actually all 3 Lakeview players, because we added Izzy Haynes to the list, a senior from Lakeview. So all 3 Lakeview players are on Coach Kelm's team. And then all 3 Austintown Fitch players are on Coach Ward's team. And that was luck of the draw. That was not like, hey, we're just going to give you the players because they're yours. That was completely luck of the spin. And then it also spun out that both teams had a pretty equal amount of catchers and pitchers, which is something we have to really be aware of for these all-star games. Unlike the other sports where positions, you can kind of just morph into whatever you have to be for an all-star game. In softball, you got to have pitchers, you got to have catchers. Volleyball, you have to have setters, of course. But outside of that, you can have middles play outside. You can do all that fun stuff. But baseball, softball, unique in the fact that you have to have arms and backstops. We aim for 3 backstops for each team. I think we have that perfectly. in line. So none of the catchers should have to be doing anything crazy tonight either. Abby Hadilla from Beaver going to be joining the team, and I've heard nothing but good things about Abby Hadilla. She plays for an athletics organization, so she's representing the home of YSN Studio, which you gotta love. She's playing for George Dravecki in the Athletics 18U team, so you know she's good if she's representing athletics. Maddie Weimer, who's also on that same athletics team, making her third straight All-Star appearance for Boardman. She played in the 3 All-Star games prior as a sophomore, junior, and senior. Unfortunately, this will be the one All-Star game where she will not be a catcher. She had to stop catching due to a couple of concussion, scares. So outfielder for Maddie Weimer this year, making her debut in the outfield, the All-Star game. Tori Strines will be joining her from Boardman. Coach Kelm can put her wherever he wants, right? She can go in the outfield. I'm sure she can play infield. She's also a good arm in the circle. That's what I love about softball. There are a lot of these players that can play in multiple positions. So it's not like you're locked into one spot. Like this person has to play shortstop, or she's not going to have a fun time. A lot of these players you can put in a lot of different situations. We go to Campbell Memorial and Romani Adams from Campbell. That's another arm in the circle for Dave Kelm that he'll be able to use. Then he has all 4 Canfield representatives. Senior Macy Kalina, the first baseman for Canfield. We have almost their whole infield because Macy Kalina plays first, and he plays second, and Marina Koenig plays short. So all 3 of those will be there along with their center fielder and Jenna Treveri. So that's going to be a good thing, seeing all the Canfield girls in the same dugout. And once again, that was luck of the spin, by the way. That was not aimed. That was not, predetermined that we're going to put all the Canfield girls on the same dugout. That was completely the wheel of destiny wanted it to happen, right? It was really kind of something amazing to be a part of on the draft. We did split the Columbiana girls, though. Cam Perkins going to be a good catcher for Dave Kelm. We said they have plenty of backstops. He's one of the statistically the best catchers in the YSN family. Did a great job managing the pitching staff of Columbiana that featured 2 consistent pitchers in Mackenzie Gamble and Caitlin Pluska, but they also had Marin Hepler that they threw every now and then as well. So anytime you're a catcher in high school and you have to manage 3 pitchers, not the easiest job in the world, but Cam Perkins does it really, really well for Columbiana. She'll be out on the field tonight. From Edgewood, we have Lucy Palillo making the trip down from Ashtabula County. She was the CVC Player of the Year this year for Edgewood. A great pitcher, a great infielder. Once again, another player that Dave Kelm can use where needed. You have Haley Taylor from Hubbard, someone that Coach Kelm is very familiar with, the impressive sophomore that can pitch and pitched pretty well for Hubbard, in fact, throughout the season. That's another arm for Kelm that he can use. And then another arm right back-to-back, LeBray's impressive freshman Riley Rowe, pitching really well, plays for the Outlaws organization for Coach Pizzulo, and does just a really good young talent. I'm excited to watch her rise in the MVAC the next couple years. That's a very under-the-radar LeBray team that has a lot of elite caliber players. When you talk about, the 2 that are going to be playing on our All-Star game, Riley McDonough going to be on the other side of the field playing for Coach Ward. We'll get to her when we go through his roster. But you have Riley Rowe, and then you have Shelby Bragg, who's a high-level softball player as well. Mariah Jones, Leah DeArmond. You have a really, really solid core of softball down there at LeBray, and I'm excited for what the future holds because a lot of those players are young coming up. It felt like Riley McDonough really laid the groundwork for a good program, and all these young players are coming up trying to build on it brick by brick for the most you can get out of LeBray. As I said, Lakeview is well represented. We have Kidney Bartlett and Calissa Warner both there. And then Izzy Haynes will be at the bottom of the roster because we added her after the draft. So 3 Lakeview players will be on the team for Coach Kelm. And I was happy we were able to get him a senior on the team as well to give her last hurrah as a Lakeview Bulldog. We also want to congratulate McKenna Warner on a great year and a great career at Lakeview. She's going to be graduating as well from the Lakeview program. So the Bulldogs and Coach Kelm well represented. Once again, NE8 champions for the first time in program history. They split with South Range this year, and they beat everybody else on the league. McDonald will have two representatives, Kayla Helko, the speedy, very speedy slapper for McDonald, and Gianna Mancini, also a very good player for the Blue Devils, made a lot of teams in the MVAC scared of that lineup, and they were MVAC champs, co-champs for a reason. Niles, someone that Coach Kelm's very familiar with. Again, Isabella Rexroad had to play her twice, so I'm sure he's happy that he doesn't have to deal with her on the opposite end of the dugout anymore. Orange will be sending Kelsey Lewis. Kelsey Lewis just informed us this morning. Unfortunately, she is dealing with an injury. She is unable to play, but we are happy to announce that she will be there in the game. She will be in the dugout. She will be introduced as an all-star because she has definitely earned it for Orange this year. So we're happy to see that she'll still be there in attendance tonight at YSU. Salem has two representatives. It's another arm and another catcher for Coach Kelm. Is Channing Toy, bat 400 plus all year for Salem. She was easily one of the better players on the Quakers roster. And then Morgan Blaine, she threw the third no-hitter in Salem Quaker program history this year as a freshman. So she looking pretty good herself in the circle for Salem. Southern is going to be sending another pitcher and a really good one out of the EOAC. Lexi Essinger will be there representing the Indians. We have United sending in Jocelyn Irie. Those United girls will be split, so we'll have one more on Coach Ward's team. Sam Lippiett will also be there for United as well. Both seniors, both trying to represent the Eagles one last time in their career. Warren JFK's representative is Hannah Myers. Happy that she's going to be a part of this game. Wellsville sending Mackenzie Nixon. You have West Branch sending a pair, and they were landing on the same team. Once again, completely up to the wheel of destiny, Josie Milliken and Addie Craven. Josie Milliken was last year's All-Star MVP, hit a home run in the All-Star game. Can she repeat history and maybe hit a bomb tonight in the All-Star game and put up another really good performance? Can we have our first, I believe it would be our first back-to-back MVP given out of the All-Star game? We'll have to see on that. Western Reserve will be represented by Allie Jones and Katie Byers, who will also be on the roster. She'll be on Coach Ward's team, so Western Reserve going to have two players as well. And once again, Lakeview got Izzy Haynes on the roster to represent the Bulldogs in her senior season. A great athlete, all-around athlete for the Bulldogs. All right, Coach Ward's team. Coach Steve Ward, back-to-back state champion, representing Austintown Fitch. And once again, the Wheel of Destiny won him to stay with his players as he gets Kylie Folkwine, Ayla Ray, and Sydney Watts, all from Austintown Fitch. We're so excited. Ayla Ray's played in this game before. I believe Kylie Folkwine and Sydney Watts, for sure Sydney, are both making their first appearance in the All-Star game. So we're happy that Fitch is well represented in this game. And we're really happy that Sydney Watts was finally able to be there. We've been trying to put this game in the middle of the week to avoid travel, but when you're elite and you're playing in Colorado and Georgia and California and Texas and all the other great places that Sydney gets to go and play travel softball, sometimes even Wednesday isn't early enough. But this year we caught the gap, right? She is off on Monday, and then on Monday she goes away for about 2 or 3 weeks to different places to compete in travel tournaments. So we're happy that we found her dead zone, and we'll be able to have her on in the All-Star game tonight. Beaver Local is going to be sending Addison Eels. We have Brookfield sending their power hitter, Ariana Jones, and a really good backstop for Brookfield. Happy to have her aboard. Camel going to be split. We have Romani Adams on Coach Kelm's team, but she'll have to deal with Mylena Williams, who is also a very good catcher and a strong hitter for the Red Devils. She'll be on Coach Ward's team. He was able to coach her last year in the All-Star game. Has nothing but great things to say about Mylena Williams and the Camel representative. Caitlin Plesko will be on Coach Ward's team for Columbiana, so she'll have to deal with Cam Perkins on the other end. Maybe we'll get a Columbiana matchup in the circle and at the plate. Hopefully, I love it when teammates have to go up against each other. It's always fun. Bragging rights on the line. Madison Drew going to be representing Conneaut, the 4-4-0, well represented in this All-Star game. In fact, a lot of them landed on Coach Ward's roster. From Crestview, we'll have Emmy Cook coming on and representing the Rebels. East will have Adelise Peterson for the Golden Bears. I know she's very excited to be in this game, and so is her entire family. East Palestine going to get Taylor Foster, and we talked about on the draft, the Foster name reigns true, reigns strong, and reigns absolutely elite in that East Palestine program, athletics program. Not even the only Foster on the team. There's a lot of them down there, and they're really good. So East Palestine, happy to get Taylor onto the roster and represent the Bulldogs. McKaylee Thornhill from Jackson Milton will be spending her last time in a Jackson Milton uniform, going to Washington and Jefferson next year to play softball. So happy to have that senior to have one more hurrah in the All-Star game. We have Allison Hill from Jefferson making the trip. I told you LeBray was split, and Riley McDonough going to be on the opposite end of her teammate Riley Rose, so she'll be on Coach Ward's team. We have Rachel Strohmeyer making back-to-back All-Star games from Liberty. She is a pitcher. She is also a really good shortstop as well for Liberty. Can't wait to see her back in the game. We had a really good player profile with her as well this year from Liberty, so excited to see her back in the All-Star game. Lisbon Morgan Lively. Morgan does everything for that athletics program. I don't care what sport you're talking about. She's a part of it, and she's also a great leader in that sport. So happy to have her in yet another All-Star game for YSN. She's represented Lisbon a ton and proudly throughout her whole career. Middle Ridge is going to have two representatives, Lily Marilillo and Savannah Turek. They're both pitchers, and they're both shortstops. So basically, when one is pitching, the other one takes over short, and they're both very high-level players. Marilillo going into her junior year. If I'm mistaken, I apologize. I feel like she's a junior. I don't want to say she's a senior yet. She might be going into her senior year now that I'm thinking about it. I'm 50-50 on that. Savannah Turek is a freshman for sure. A really good freshman for Middle Ridge. Bat over 300 this year and led the team in home runs for the Rams, as well as pitched almost half their innings. We go to Mohawk, the team that won the Whipple 3A Class 3A championship and went on to the Pennsylvania State Tournament. Erica Young will be representing them. She'll be playing softball at the next level at Malone. So happy to see her be able to represent Mohawk one last time before she starts her college softball career. Poland will have two representatives. We just got word from Mary Brandt. She will be there. She will be at the game. We are so excited. We could not have a game without Mary Brandt. It would not be the same. She was able to finagle her way out of work. Yeah, let's go. Love a good work ethic, but anytime you can find a way out of it to get to an All-Star game, we love it. So Leanna Bocherry will be on the All-Star list as a catcher. And then Mary Brandt just, when you talk about how good Mary Brandt is and how well respected Mary Brandt is, let me tell you this. Basketball season, she goes down with an injury, misses like the last 8 games or so during the season. Even with that, still voted the player of the year. Poland won the conference. That helped. But she wasn't the scoring leader, wasn't the stat leader of the NE8, but all the coaches were like, hey, you know what? If those 8 games were played, she probably would be. And they gave her the respect she deserves and gave her player of the year. And then softball comes around. Poland did not win the NE8. In fact, 2 teams split the NE8. So we had South Range and Lakeview, both with uber talented rosters. Both won the conference. But who won player of the year in the NE8? It was Mary Brandt out of Poland. First player to ever win player of the year for basketball and softball in the same year. And didn't even win the conference. That tells you the respect that those coaches have for Mary Brandt. When you say, hey, doesn't matter where the team finished in the standings, she's still the best player in the conference. She'll be heading to Robert Morris for her softball career after she is done. This will be the last time you'll be able to see her in a Poland uniform, so you don't want to miss it if you're a Poland Bulldog fan. Pymatuning Valley sending Sage Payne, and man, if you haven't seen this girl play live, I've had the chance last season to go watch her play at Howland. She is phenomenal. Can't wait to see her represent Pymatuning Valley. We have Morgan Blaine from Salem representing the Quakers. Did we double that up? Hold on. We did. She's on both rosters. We'll have to fix that. That is a user error on my end that I just noticed live on the show. That's embarrassing. South Range, all three will be represented by Coach Ward's team. We have Kira Brogan, Gianna Pauline, who is the YSN Defensive Player of the Year. Congratulations to G Money on that acknowledgement. And then Jaylee Welt will also be there for South Range, pitch the Raiders all the way to a state championship appearance, the fourth in program history. Springfield will have their backstop leader, and just to everything that she does for this program in a struggle year, it was phenomenal. She's a great leader, great mindset, just really coachable, and one of those people that just deserves to be in an all-star game. Rachel Molitok, can't wait to have her as a part of it. Samantha Lippiott will be on United's team as well. And Katie Koulianos will be there representing Ursuline, a great third baseman. And she is uncommitted right now, but I promise you, whoever picks her up is going to gain a really, really good softball player. And then Western Reserve, Katie Byers will be on the list as well, as we split the Western Reserve players, and they'll have to deal with each other. And Katie Byers is a pitcher, so we might see a Byers versus Jones matchup. And we saw how hard Allie Jones was to get off the base pass this year, batting over 700 on the season. So if Katie Byers steps into the circle against her, good luck, Katie. Good, you have some fun. You know her better than anybody, so maybe you'll have a chance to get her out. A lot of people couldn't. Mary Brandt in Poland finishes out the roster there. For players and parents, there's a waiver right here at the bottom of the page. You have to click on the word here. Don't click on any of these pop-ups down here. Click on the word here. It'll take you to the online waiver that needs to be filled out before the player can participate in our All-Star game. If the player is 18 or older, they can fill out themselves. If they're younger than 18, you'll have to fill it out as a parent or guardian. So if you're out there watching right now, preparing for the All-Star game, you don't want to have to deal with it at the check-in table, make sure to get that filled out beforehand. Then all you have to do is show up, say you're here, waiver's done, good, you're green, go out and get ready. But that waiver will have to be signed before you're able to play. And if you don't sign it before the game, don't worry. It'll still be available at the check-in counter. So you'll still be able to do it at the complex. It'll just be a smoother transition if you have it done before. So just going to go over the one last time with the housekeeping here for the All-Star game. All-Star game tonight at YSU. 6 o'clock is your start time. Let's see what we have on the comment section real quick. Oh, it's a bot from YouTube. 6 o'clock tonight at YSU is your start time. $5 entry fee, and proceeds go on to the NYAP and the National Youth Advocacy Program. Happy to be able to help out a great cause there. And then we will also have merch available as well, shirts, hats, all that fun stuff. Player check-ins at 5 o'clock. So if you're a player or a parent of a player out there listening, player check-in opens at 5. Game starts at 6. We are playing 9 innings of softball. So it's not your typical 7-inning softball game. It is going to be a 9-inning game. And we will make sure that everyone gets in and has a fun time. And if years past are present, everyone gets 2 at-bats. It's pretty simple to do that. Last year and the year before, we had a lot of people with 3 at-bats. It just goes pretty smooth through the order because these bats are really good, and you don't see a lot of 1, 2, 3 innings. So it's going to be a fun time. Make sure to get out there to YSU. If you can't get there, still want to watch your All-Star, we will have it live streamed as well. I'll be on the call. We're going to have some very special guests on the air as well. Mike Kernan, the head coach of Canfield, will be on the airwaves with me for a couple of innings, and then we'll have Coach Joe Marilillo from Middle Ridge will be on the airwaves with me for a little bit as well, and then we'll have players join We're going to have a fun time on that broadcast. So if you aren't able to come to YSU, that's a good way to watch it live from the press box at Youngstown State University. So all that being said, it's going to be a fun night. Make sure once again to head on down to YSU. We can't wait to see everybody down there. We're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we have what was promised today, an interview with Faith Schneider from Middle Ridge Volleyball. She just graduated and is helping that Infinity 17 team that we heard from on Tuesday go to nationals as she is preparing for her career to start at Edinboro University. So can't wait for you guys to hear that interview. It's coming up next on Running Point, brought to you by Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
From on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means we want to take care of the community that takes care of us too.
And we have to work together always. And that's how you stay in business for 40 years.
You know, I love being a helper because when I help somebody, it makes me feel good.
It means a lot that I can make a difference in others' lives.
So I will do everything I can and just being there for them every step of the way.
I want them to know within the first 5 minutes that they could depend on me. That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Now you can see every school, to the smallest school, to the intermediate schools, to the schools in the outlying areas. It gives you coverage that you could just never get to before. It's something that's great to experience, and it's opened up a whole new wave of sports viewership. The possibilities are endless here at YSN. Push the envelope every day. Try something new. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well, let's try another angle, and we just keep moving forward. My name is Mike Ackelson, and my sports network is your sports network.
What can you do on over 5,000 acres? At Mill Creek Metro Parks, you can discover unique habitats and wildlife, create memorable family moments, experience history, heritage, and park programs, explore scenic landscapes, take time to relax and be well, connect with nature and each other. Come see what's new at Mill Creek Metro Parks. Plan your trip now at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means taking care of our local customers.
And it's just a great feeling to put them in a vehicle and get them all excited about a new vehicle.
At the end of the day, our goal is to be someone our customers can count on.
And every day I'll go the extra mile for the community so they can trust us.
To do anything that would convenience the customer or make them feel more at home.
Realizing, number one, that we're here for them and that we're not going to go away.
That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Welcome back to Running Point on YSNLive.com, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown, who you just heard from at the end of that break. We want to thank them like we do every day for their constant sponsorship of this show and everything that we do at YSN. And we are going to roll right into what we do best here on Running Point, player profiles, and talking to the amazing athletes that we have in this area in the YSN family that are doing amazing things. And we continue to do that. The 17s Infinity team going to Nationals for volleyball in Las Vegas next weekend. Almost exclusively a YSN team made up of YSN players. We heard from Reagan Price from Lakeview on Tuesday. Faith Schneider, the graduate from Middle Ridge, getting ready for her career at Edinburgh, had a chance to come on and talk with us about being the oldest player on the team and having a different mindset. She's already going to college. She's graduated from high school. She's simply using this summer to prepare for high school college volleyball, and that she'll be doing that nationals where they play some of the top teams in the country. They're ranked 34th in the nation as a club team in 17s, and they're ranked second in Ohio, the OVR. So exciting that we have such amazing talent and YSN volleyball all coming together. And this is a great interview, probably the last interview you'll have with Faith Schneider from Middle Ridge. I hope you enjoy it. All right, Anthony Hartwig here with a very special volleyball player profile from Faith Schneider, Middle Ridge graduate now. Congratulations on being able to call yourself a graduate and being able to put on that cap and gown, and also a member of the Infinity Club 17s team that is going to be making a trip to Las Vegas here in a couple of weekends, July 3rd through 6th, to play in Nationals. Faith, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So volleyball never stops for you. I mean, you graduate from Middle Ridge, you finish off your high school career, you're getting ready for college at Edinburgh next in the fall. But here in the summer, you're still fitting in volleyball. Infinity, what's it like to have one more gasp of, I guess you could call it, local volleyball with a lot of local players that are still playing in high school here?
I mean, it's very exciting, but it's also very sad because I'm gonna be going to Edinburgh and I won't be seeing them all. So it's just nice to finally have a last hurrah with all the people that are close to my area before I head to Edinburgh.
You are someone that had already graduated, so you're in a different spot than everyone else on the team, where they're either trying to still get recruited and trying to still put themselves on somebody's radar, or they're already recruited but they're trying to get ready for a senior season of high school volleyball. What were some of your goals? What are you trying to get out of this last club season with Infinity?
Definitely just more reps. I'm trying to be more competitive, and the reason why I joined this team going younger is because we were traveling more and it was a lot more competitive than going 18s, and I just wanted to improve myself more to be ready.
You're the elder, right? You're the oldest on the team. I'm sure you poke a little fun at you for that, but you're also someone that's been there, done that. I'm sure you have a lot of leadership that you can offer this team. What has that been like to be the elder on the team and to be able to lean on that experience?
I mean, sometimes it doesn't feel like it because I'm I just like to be funny and really lift up the team. But I feel like they do look for my leadership, and I feel like that's very important. And I just always being there for them and cheering them on. I always want to be that hype person that always lifts them up. Even if they make a mistake, I'm always gonna be there for them, telling them that they're gonna do a great job. So it's more just about really lifting up the team.
We're catching you and your Infinity teammates kind of towards the end of the journey. You're getting in the Nationals, but it takes a lot to get to this point. You're second in the OVR, and you're 34th ranked nationally. So when you think about all the stuff that has happened this club season, put into words the work that's been put in and the things that you guys had to accomplish just to get to this point.
Definitely a lot of work, a lot of training, a lot of practicing and jump training and push-ups and everything. Our coaches really focus on jump training and really focusing on our skills to really push us forward to be ready for this situation that we're in right now.
In any travel atmosphere, whether you're talking JO volleyball, AAU basketball, travel softball, everyone's there for a common goal. You're there to either put yourself on the map to get recruited, like I said, or you're already recruited, as some of your class of 25s are, and you're trying to just get yourself ready for that senior season in high school. What's it like being a part of a team where everyone's kind of there for volleyball? There's no messing around. Everyone's there for one common goal, and you guys can come together and try to achieve it.
It's honestly really amazing. I mean, we all really, really work hard to make the team better and to like we all want to go far. Like we all want to be competitive. So it's just like amazing that we can all like come together as a team to like show people like that we are good and that we can go far in anything.
I mean, I know, high school, you're playing with your classmates, and that has a special spot in your heart. But what's it like to play on a team and look around and see everyone kind of achieving their volleyball goals and dreams and getting onto college rosters, and to be able to say that you're able to do that too?
It's really fantastic. I mean, it's honestly my dream. Like it's my dream to play college volleyball, and I know it's theirs too. So it's really just nice to have friends that you know that you can count on, and that like even when you go off to college, like you can still call them up and be like, "Oh, hey, do you want to go play volleyball?" And you know that they're going to be there, and like you're going to go have fun with them.
When we look at the coaching staff, we see a Schneider. We can't not talk about that. I mean, how cool is it to spend one last time with Coach Schneider, your dad, obviously, to be coached by him one last time before you go off to Edinburgh?
It's honestly really sad. I know that he's sad about it too, because like he's always coached me, he's always been there. But I think it'll be like a good opportunity for me to like get out of my shell and like have a new coach and to like really prove myself in like a new environment. So I'm honestly just really excited. But it is sad. I'm really gonna miss him. But I know he'll still be there cheering me on the sidelines. So
Surprised to hear he didn't call up Edinburgh, try to get on staff. When you think of personal goals you had for this club season, things that you wanted to kind of nail down or work on or get better at before you go to Edinburgh in the fall, what were some of those personal goals you set for this club year?
definitely like my strength and like my hitting, because Edinburgh did like recruit me for like being an outside like all the way around. So like I'm really trying to focus on like my serve receive and like getting better at that and just being like an overall like better team player.
Let's talk about this recruiting process and what made Edinburgh your pick. Go back to when you were kind of looking at colleges and looking at the recruiting process. What was yours like? Everyone has a different process. Some are more stressful than others. What was kind of your recruiting process like?
Well, I started with Sports Recruit because that's what like Infinity like offered for everyone. So my mom is all my mom. My mom's the best. She like made all my videos for everything, and then we posted them. And then I was like getting looks by like other colleges. Like I was getting contacted. But like the thing that like really like pulled me towards Edinburgh was like I reached out to her and she was like, "Oh, like of course, I'd love for you to come to one of our camps." So then I ended up going to one of the summer camps, and I just really love like the atmosphere of like the team and like the whole campus, and I could really just see myself there. So that really like attracted me to like the whole Edinburgh like lifestyle, and that's how I ended up getting recruited for the team.
When you made that decision that the Edinburgh was going to be the place to go, what kind of relief was it? What kind of weight off your shoulders was it to know that your future was set and you knew where you were going to go after high school?
Oh, it was very exciting because I was really stressed, like because I was like, everyone's already getting looked at, like everyone's already getting recruited, and I was like a senior, and I hadn't got like really any looked at by like a lot of people, so it was really stressful. And when I finally like committed, I was like, it was very like relief, like I felt a lot of relief, and I was like, I can go into like the rest of my senior year and like JO season without like really worrying about um like getting looked at by anyone.
You talked about how college volleyball was a dream. So take us back to February, signing day. You put your name on that dotted line, make it official that you're going to be a college volleyball player. What was that moment like for you?
It was very special. I mean, I can't even put it into words how like amazing it made me feel. Like I feel like I always want to cry about it because it's just like so amazing that I have like this opportunity to like go somewhere and like play my sport. Like volleyball is literally like my life basically, and I love it so much. So it's just like a dream come true that I would be able to play volleyball in college.
When you look at the signing day pictures from your signing day, you had an entourage there. It was a crowded signing day. What's it like to be able to share that moment with so many people that support you and have supported you throughout your journey?
It's very special. I mean, like my mom and my dad and my aunt, my grandma, they all like came to watch me sign. And my Coach Lesko, it was just a great opportunity. Like I just know that I always have people that I can come back to for Ridge and like know that they're always gonna support me. Like even my principal, like all my principals, my athletic director, they were all there like supporting me and were like, "You're doing a great thing. Like you're gonna do amazing." It just makes me feel like I can always come back to like my Ridge community and know that they're always gonna be there for me.
We all know that a lot of recruiting happens in the club scene. That's where coaches see you. That's where a lot of these coaches have contacts with club organizations. But I also know Coach Lesko, and I know how many connections he has, and I know he had to be a help in the recruiting process. What kind of things did he do for you when you were, navigating those recruiting waters?
He definitely helped me with like the videos and stuff. We would go to so many camps and like scrimmages, like where like colleges would be there and like like college coaches would be there and like they'd come up to him and be like, "Oh, that like number 8, is she like committed?" And he would be like, "Oh no," and like he would like give them like my number and everything so like I could get more like contacts. Like he was a huge help with like everything.
What are you going to miss the most about Middle Ridge volleyball and being able to be a player there?
Definitely just the whole community, like the people, like they're all amazing. Like they're all like one of my closest, like they're all my close friends. It's just really sad that I'm gonna be gone, but I'm definitely gonna come back and like watch them play and everything. Like I'm never gonna be away from like that Ridge community because they've literally helped me through everything.
When we talk to college players, they always say they bring a part of where they grew up into the locker room in college, and they kind of have that personality, and they bring that personality. What do you think is something that you're going to take from Middle Ridge volleyball, things you learn in Middle Ridge, things that you learn from living in Middle Ridge? What are you going to take from that into the Edinboro locker room, do you think?
I'm definitely just gonna try to be like a happy, like really team-oriented person because that's how like I was brought up by everyone and like Ridge is that like it's always about the team. Like it's never about one person. It's about the whole entire team. So I definitely just want to bring like that team like orientation and like leadership to Edinboro.
All right, you have a long trip to Las Vegas coming up. Whether it's, I hope you guys are flying there. That's a long drive. But
Yeah,
what
we
we
are
asked
flying.
we asked Reagan this too. Long trips, whether it be on a plane or be in a car. What are some of your favorite road trip slash plane trip activities to keep you engaged while cruising?
I'd probably just say napping. I'm not gonna lie. I always nap. That's like my go-to, just to take a nap or like watch Netflix.
And a lot of people are kind of jealous now because they can't sleep. I cannot sleep in a plane. There's no way. I feel like if I fall asleep, I'm not rooting for the plane to stay up in the air. And if I'm not rooting for the plane to stay up in the air, nothing good's going to happen. What are some things that excite you the most about this trip to Las Vegas, to be with the team for that extended amount of time in a new city and to be able to stay with them in hotel rooms and things like that?
Definitely like the swimming. Just like being with the team. Oh, our coach, he wants us to do like a talent show. So we all have to like find out like a talent. So we were all like talking about it at practice. We were all like, "Oh, we all need to like find talents to do for a talent show." And so like I think that's gonna be fun. And that's probably about it.
Give me a sneak peek. What's your hidden talent? What are some things that you're good at that aren't on the volleyball court?
I think I was gonna do a stand-up comedy act, but I haven't prepared it yet, so
I'm
we're
not
gonna have to
gonna-
see.
You're gonna have to get that recorded because we have to see it.
Okay.
Who are some of your favorite stand-up comedians?
Oh, definitely Kevin Hart. He's so funny.
Do you have kind of a favorite Kevin Hart movie that he's in?
I've no.
No,
I'm not gonna
or
lie.
a
I'm really
special?
bad with movie names.
It's okay. That is totally okay. Faith, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We do this every time we do a player profile. You've been on them before. We want to give you the time to once again thank your support system, the people that are always there for you. Maybe throw in some new thanks or new shout outs that you haven't thrown in before in one of your player profiles. And, you can have as much time as you want.
I just want to thank my mom, my dad, my family, all my coaches, like Infinity, definitely Edinburgh, all the Edinburgh people, all the Ridge community, like my principal, Mr. Stevens, my athletic director, Miss Stith. Just I want to thank all of them for everything. Just the whole Ridge community.
Faith, we want to thank you for bringing us along your journey and a great career at Mineral Ridge. We loved covering you. Wish you the best of luck in Las Vegas with Infinity for one last gasp of, like I said, local volleyball before you go off to Edinburgh. We also wish you the best of luck in all your future endeavors. We thank you again for coming on today, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you so much.
Faith Schneider from Mineral Ridge and from, I should say, now into Edinburgh volleyball. She's officially a Minuteman and taking that Infinity 17s team down to Las Vegas next weekend. We're so excited to see a lot of YSN players succeed at the highest level in their club season. We featured Reagan Price and Faith Schneider, and can't wait to see what they have in store for themselves in that trip to Vegas, July 3rd through 6th. So if you have good vibes, to send them one for safe travels to Las Vegas, of course, and then for success down there as a volleyball program. Can't wait to see what they do. That'll do it for today's episode of Running Point. We are done for the week. We are going to take Friday off. We will not be on the show tomorrow, but we will be back on Monday to recap everything from tonight and over the weekend. Going to be a good show on Monday. Make sure to tune in 1 to 2 on Monday from Running Point. Brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town. All-Star game tonight. Show up. 6 o'clock start time. YSU. Going to be a fun time. I'll be there. DJ will be there. All the crew will be there. And we can't wait to have a fun time at YSU. That'll do it for today's episode. Thank you so much